The Fed has cut rates by 0.25%. How has that affected the prices of silver, gold, Bitcoin, and crypto too? We'll take a look at our favorites there. We'll just have a good old chat with me, Joe Main, going out live on X and on YouTube. If you're watching the replay, just use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers. The live show, we talk about precious metals, we talk about stacking silver, stacking satoshis, stacking skills, stacking societies, friendships, skills, and more. But we have to do the synchronized slurp. This is the favorite part of your day. I know you miss it when I don't do it. So I do it so you don't miss it. Grab your tasty beverage, whatever you're drinking right now. Could it be non-fluoridated, beautiful water? Could be something different, something a little bit more spicy. Let me know in the comments. But the rule is you must slurp it synchronously. It's the slurp heard around the world. Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing and do this. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Good to see you, people. We shall get to some shout outs, etc., because you can comment live right now. Once again, going out live on YouTube and X. Could you head over to x.com/it's Joe Main right now, please, and thank you. Why? Well, I have nearly 4,000 subscribers, and I talk about a lot more than just, just the live stream, etc. Lots more on that channel, posting, regularly every day. And then this is just my little cheat thing of getting that little post out there. And of course, did you know the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Get 20 or more, get free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart. The best bullion dealer in all of Australia. It's also brought to you by Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Amazing educational courses and their academy as well, which you can actually join for free. I am doing their year-long comprehensive trading course. Okay, the full thing, man. So I reckon you should check them out. Of course, stormrake.com, full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. You can get all your crypto needs done, handled for you by Stormrake, stormrake.com, operating in most major countries and some of the select other ones as well. Now, they'll charge you their fee, but if you sign up with my link, you get 2% brokerage fees for the life of the account. That's better than Coinbase and these others when you factor in there's no hidden spread fees. Look, all I recommend is you go to stormrake.com and just check out what they do. You'll be well impressed, bruv. And then you want to sign up with my link. You got to do it with my link, though. Otherwise, they'll just charge you the normal 3%. Okay, so you get 33% discount when you sign up with my thing. I'll put a link somewhere or copy this and paste this in your favorite browser. And then, go there and you'll be doing well. And of course, my Silver Investor Club. Now, if you are an investor in silver, which I think most of you are who are watching this, you really want to be a part of the Silver Investor Club. It's currently free to join. Okay, there's 150 something members. Look at this. Fantastic. It's a private club for new and veteran investors in silver. Exclusive silver bullion deals, and they're really good, and people have already nabbed great deals. Silver giveaways, price analysis, question and answers, live stream hangouts. It's not just about going there and getting like the special of the week that you can't get anywhere else. It's really about the community that we're building there. That's what this is all about. Okay, so you can see the community section right here. Join for free. Best idea that you will ever have had in your entire life, and it's very active. Okay, very, very active. Look at all these new posts and new comments, etc. Definitely the place to be for new and veteran investors in silver. Cool. Let's do some shout outs, people. Dennis McManus. I always love that name, mate. Dennis McManus. Hey, diddly howdy. That's very, what is it? What's his name? Oh my God, why is it escaping my The Simpsons? You know who I mean. Lance, sick and trying to pump myself up. Well, welcome, mate. Good morning, chat friends. Yeah, I get the feeling you're a happy chappy today. Is it sleep getting a little bit better for you? There, Lance. Morning, everyone. Fantastic day in Melbourne. It is quite nice. Fed interest cut is in and looking good for a lift in all markets. Maybe. We'll take a look at the prices. Lance said one of my US ETFs, USAR went off. What's USAR? Give me 1 second. You couldn't have shared that with me earlier? Oh, rare earth. Dang. Yeah, right. In the last day. Yeah, no one can see this. Yeah, it's had a little bit of a nice move. Oh, that's good. Good on you, man. US rare earth. I'm going to, give me 1 second, USAR. That is going on my list. I'm watching that right there. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. After the fact, Lance. How dare you, sir? Let's see. Morning, everyone says Silver Ruger. Ah, Niels Han Dynasty is here. What a surprise you would say by silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. It's not like that's your calling card every single time you're on the show. Let's see. And I do agree. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Of course, I would love for you guys to support the show as well. You can do that with super chats. Help put me through school. Put me through mastering the markets. It's really costly. Let's see. Or join the Silver Investor Club. That's a good idea. Okay. I shout out to Platinum. Yes, Platinum, I love it. Ned Flanders, thank you, Lance. Is Flanders. Joe, I need to just share my whole list. Can you please? Can you send me an email with that, and then I'll create the Lance list, and then I'll track that as well. The Lance list, I'd love that. Let's talk about the Fed cutting rates by 25 basis points, meaning 0.25%. I did a video yesterday. I pre-recorded it and I spoke to two experts on the subject, one in the gold investment industry, so Ricky from Perth Bullion Exchange. I also spoke with Bisha, who is the COO, the Chief Operating Officer of Stormrake, who I mentioned just before. So that's on the crypto side of things. We talked Bitcoin. We talked to both of them about what they thought was going to happen, whether, how would the rate cut occur, how much percentage would it be, and what would happen after the fact. Both of them sat basically around the same kind of thing. The consensus was there would be a rate cut. The consensus was that it was probably priced in, and prices, though, I think Bisha said you might see a bit of a dip in Bitcoin after that because it's priced in, and Ricky was sort of on the same kind of side of that. So let's take a look at the prices and what we've done. Let me show the scran, brah. That was USAR. Thanks, Lance. Rare earths. I mean, all commodities, rare earths, lithium, this, that, all the commodities. We're in a commodity super cycle, so I'm not surprised that USAR went up as well. Here is silver on the daily time frame, priced in USD, $41.80 using the tradingview.com website. We've had a move down, and I've got to tell you that the news of this stuff, everything is priced in. Actually, this is what I learned, this week, or was it last week? I think it was last week, actually, at Mastering the Markets, is that the averages discount everything, okay? Meaning that everything's basically, barring black swan events, everything's pretty much already priced in once you get there. It's the buy the rumor, sell the news thing, okay? I'll give you an example of something that wasn't priced in with a crypto that I follow, very regularly. If most of you watching the show, something happened yesterday that you couldn't have seen absolutely coming, and then saw that. But other than that, things get priced in, okay? There was a big rumor of the Fed cutting the rates. It would have been shocking if Jerome Powell did not cut the rates. So let me just go back and I'll show Federal Reserve, just in case you don't know. Okay, rate cuts. There we go. Something like that. Yeah, Federal Reserve cuts key rate by 25 basis points. Federal Reserve lowered its benchmark interest rate by 0.25%. Now, this is the thing, though. Jerome Powell stressed that the decision's reliance on economic data with projections for an additional 50 basis points in cuts by year end is in favor of no change. Basically, he's saying, we've done it. There is no guarantees we're going to do it again. So let me read that again. Stress the decision's reliance on economic data with projections for an additional 50 basis points in cuts by year-end amid heightened unemployment risks, though one governor dissented in favor of it. Markets showed immediate volatility. Not really. Yes. Now, markets showed immediate volatility with the S&P 500 declining 0.5% after hours, and over $105 million in liquidations, as discussions on X reflected various reactions to the move against the backdrop of political pressures, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So yeah, pretty much priced in. We had this, and the price usually precedes the news. You can see the writing on the wall as such. Okay, so we were talking about this high in price on the silver price here, creeping up. This was back in the start of this month. Okay, so it's the start of the month. Okay, rate cuts are coming. Rate cuts are coming. Oh, rate cuts are coming. We're going to cut rates, or is it going to be 25 basis points? It's going to be 50. Oh man, I'm order. Yeah, cool. And then what's that? So the Tuesday the 16th. So yesterday. Gee, right before, like the day before the rate cut announcement, what happens? We have some bearish divergence, higher high, lower high on the relative strength index, and then you see a sell-off beforehand. Yeah, buy the rumor, sell the news. Cool. And on the 1 hour time frame, we didn't do much. I mean, this is just in the last few hours. So yeah, okay. We've had a little bit of a move from 41.15 back up to 41.80. Cool. You want to see that clear this level here of 42.20, and for me, I was saying it's at around about that 42.50 level. Okay, which I really want to see moved. Right about there-ish. Oh no, look, actually, I'll give it. I said 42.50 in a post. I'll actually give it to 42.25. So that's actually bang on the 618 Fibonacci from this high and this low. So if we start clearing 42.25, I'll go, okay, cool. All right. Onwards and upwards we go. Nothing saying that yet. You've probably got, let me get rid of that for you. Nope. Once again, you're watching Good Morning Stackers, where we talk about precious metals. We talk about Bitcoin, crypto. We stack lots of different things here. We're talking about precious metals to start with in the Fed rate cut, and then we'll be going to Bitcoin and crypto, etc. Let's see, on the 4 hour, let's see, normally you've got around about 8 to 10 periods in that time frame in which the divergence plays out, for example. So if we were seeing this on, see, we're not seeing it on the daily. We were seeing it on the 4 hour. Actually, let me go back. We're seeing it on the daily. No. Yeah, high. Yeah, I'd say flattening out there, but let's just talk about the 4 hour. Sorry, won't keep you long, lovely people. Let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish. So we're kind of at that point where the bearish divergence may have fully played out. Okay, and yeah, for me, the kicker is $42.25 at the moment, and obviously breaking there is much more bullish, but I'll just say that that's a good little area to get out of that 0.618. And if I show you on the hourly time frame, we have already hit extremely undervalued or oversold on the relative strength index as well. So, markets flip between overbought and oversold, and generally when you get a bounce in there, that can signal a bottoming-ish kind of area. Okay, you can still go down a bit further, right? You could create a lower low, and then that could be a higher low on the relative strength index. That would be bullish divergence. Okay, so just clear that 42.25, and I'll just be a bit more confident to say, oh, okay, up we go. Cool. That is silver, but yeah, didn't really react very hard, and neither did any of the markets really. I'd actually say altcoins have probably reacted the best to it, and we'll show you those in a few moments. Here is gold on the 1 hour time frame. Sure, let's do the 1 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. Price in USD, $3,670. We were talking about double divergence yesterday. Higher high, equal high. Higher high, lower high, bearish divergence playing out. We had one little spurt right here. Oh, was this on the... No. Yeah, one little... matched that trend line exactly. Okay, so we got up to there, and then okay, so still looking a little bearish at the moment, I would actually say. I would need it to creep above, really I just need it to creep above about $3,700. That's the kicker for me. On balance of probability, let me have a look on the hour. I think we've got some lower prices coming in gold before we see higher prices. So that's it. I think lower prices before we see a new all-time high. Okay, so I think that $3,650 mark is probably broken, and we see lower before we see a new all-time high. Okay, that's my humble opinion. I think this bearish divergence probably needs to play out a little bit more. If you look on the 4 hour time frame, we're not really fully reset on the 4 hour, and of course, if you look on the daily, well, I mean, looks like we're just forming a lovely, not lovely, but a momentum loss kind of thing here. So yeah, expecting lower prices for gold. Silver, not necessarily. Okay, gold to silver ratio is favoring still silver at the moment, just in a pretty clear downtrend, and that will remain until we break above probably about, I'd say about that 89 kind of mark. Sure, that's gold to silver ratio. Let's take a look at, that's gold as well. Let's take a look at platinum. Here is platinum on the daily time frame, 1,375 US dollars, trading in the range that I've been talking about. Nothing to say yet. Got to clear that 1,430. Then I'll say newer high coming. Not all-time high, but, you know, the next high is coming for platinum. Yeah, so just trading in a range at the moment. Not a lot to say. I just repeating myself. If we close below 1,340, then I'll be getting concerned that we'll be seeing lower prices. But that might be really good for you. It is a subjective opinion. SBSW, why not? Let me just check that. SBSW, this is the Sibanye-Stillwater, basically the largest platinum group miner stock. Let's see what we're doing there. I should have done the other stocks, but could I be bothered? Here is SBSW. You can see pretty clearly, been in a lovely little uptrend just recently. Had a touch here, that's on the daily. And if I get rid of you, and if I go here and here, which I should have done this earlier, where did we bounce at? Well, we bounced at the 0.236, which is actually very bullish. Okay, that's very strong support. Okay, very strong support, neutral, weak support, very weak support. Okay, but that's bounced at the 0.236, so that's looking pretty good at the moment. I would just need to see it creep and hold above where we're in that zone at the moment. So around about there is where we need to stay at. So yeah, about in that $8.50 kind of area. That's Sibanye-Stillwater. I won't do the other silver miners. Will I? No, sure. Let me look at the SIL. I'll go back to... No, I won't because I'll skip through it. Let's see. We'll do that on another show. Here is copper. Copper on the daily, $4.64. Yeah, okay. That's all I have to say about that. And the COPX, I'm expecting some lower prices in the copper, major copper miners stocks. Okay, we have nearly broken the all-time high, but I'm expecting probably a little bit lower down. Not a lot to say on that. Yeah, that's copper. Tell me what you are particularly bullish on at the moment, okay, which is not crypto related. We'll get to crypto in a second. I want to show you something just quickly in the commodities section out of interest. This is hydrogen. Okay, so this is the Global X Hydrogen ETF listed on the NASDAQ. Okay, it is having a bit of a pump. So hydrogen's having a bit of its time in the sun at the moment. And there's a couple of hydrogen players in Australia that you can get into. You can get into the big boys, you know, like Origin Energy and all those kind of ones. But there's a few smaller caps at the moment. But if you take it from this high and this low, we're through the zag zone and looks like we're going to be breaking this. And then, this is on hydrogen in general. And then you have to look, okay, so if we're through that zag zone and we're going to break here, that's very bullish, breaking through 34.77 on the Global X Hydrogen ETF. It's HYDR. You could just buy this. You could just buy that. Or if you want to go individual players. But then you would take it for the next pivot. And look at that. We're nearly breaking. Yeah, look, we're nearly through the 618 right there. Then you're probably going, okay, this one, then that one, and then, you know, that kind of thing. So if you take it from the all-time high and the all-time low, which it looks like the low is probably in, I'd say, then you've probably got a good bit of room to move. And I would actually suggest that's your zag zone, your expected resistance zone. And I'm going to say, yeah, I mean, anywhere in here. And I'd actually favor at the 0.5 because where's the trapped money after here? There's nothing. There's basically dead air. So basically between here and here is your main area for hydrogen. So, geez, if you break into this zone here, I'd be looking for a test easy of there and somewhere in there. And then, of course, if you start closing and getting above about 60 US dollars, then you're getting through this trapped money here, trapped money here, trapped money here. And that's looking really good for hydrogen. Okay, so keep an eye out on that. I'll keep an eye out on specific hydrogen stocks for you. A couple that I just started looking at this morning, just keeping my eye on them. Here is one called Hazer Group. This is HZR. Again, because we're going into a commodities super cycle, okay, where they will massively outperform equities. So you got to look at the other things too, not just precious metals. This is it's a relatively small cap. It's 100 mil cap, and it engages in research and development of novel graphite and hydrogen production technology. Okay, so it's hydrogen related. I'm looking for a break and hold of there at 46 cents in Australian dollars. So 46 Australian cents. If you can get up through, I'd actually say 48 cents through there, that resistance zone there, then you're looking quite good. So I'm hawking it, I'm watching it, I'm not in. I might get in, or I probably will get in after that 48 cent kind of mark. So keep an eye on that, which is HZR. There's another one called GHY, which it's still in a major downtrend. So, but just watch it. Okay, it's called Gold Hydrogen. It's GHY on the ASX. You can see, look at that. Definite, lower highs, lower lows. Nothing has changed yet. Okay, could you be forming a higher low here? Yeah, sure. But just watch it. It's a very small cap. I think it's still like 80 mil. Okay, you can see on the daily time frame on the relative strength index, we have gone into, and this is why I'm looking at it, we have gone into extremely undervalued, extremely oversold already. Okay, we haven't changed any kind of into any kind of bullish market structure. Okay, but there's no real, on the daily, there's no bullish change of like divergence. On the 4 hour, you can see it though. So this is might be the very beginning. So just put it on your watch list, GHY. I will watch it for you as well, and I'll let you know if my alerts go off. I'll let you know in some kind of decent time frame, hopefully. But I'd want to see a break of market structure at 46.5 cents. That's the go time for me, where I would be happy to take a nibble there. If you can see on the 4 hour, lower high, higher low, relative strength index. Okay, what we would also need to look is, what is the volume doing? So the volume needs to come in. So we're not really there yet. Okay, so still total bear market for GHY. We just need to see this volume start to, really increase and start to sort of predict what's going to happen. The volume generally precedes price, because these are the smart people getting in. Then you see an uptick in volume before you see a similar pace rise in the fiat dollar price. So for example, okay, if anyone wants to watch it, this again is on a 4 hour time frame. If you start seeing something like the following, just give you a little heads up. If you start seeing that being broken on the OBV, so this is the on balance volume. If you start seeing something like that, but this hasn't broken at the same time, that means the volume might be leading. The volume might be leading that. So then, if you get a break of 46.5 cents. And this is already broken out, that means volume is confirming the move. So it's a much better, it's an extra tick to say, I can definitely get in now, because you're having a few ticks, right? Break of market structure with the volume already preceding it. That's good. If you don't have volume confirming it, then you probably wouldn't get into it. Cool. So wait for the volume. I'll let you know. Okay, so that is GHY. I just did a whole bunch of stuff there on hydrogen. Why not? Could have made this the hydrogen show. And when you're ready to buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, because you want to buy precious metals, well then buy from Perth Bullion Exchange. As I said before, best bullion dealer in all of Australia. You get free shipping when you have 20 or more items. We spoke to Ricky yesterday, gave his opinions. He's been doing such great guns over on his YouTube channel as well. That's Perth Bullion Exchange. Go check them out there. The weekly specials, etc. Did you catch, and I'll do another plug, did you catch the spot silver special either on Perth Bullion Exchange's website? So they actually have it right there. If I type in spot, let's see what happens. Let me see if it's still available. So notice how they have two. Let me see. Are they all sold out? Ravi. Okay. Let me give you a huge tip. If you would like to buy silver at spot price right now, there's two specials happening. Okay, one on Perth. Well, both of them are on Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and one of them those is password protected. So this is the US Silver Round Pack, 3 times 1 ounces for spot price. There's 37 left now. You can't buy all 37. It is a limit of 1 per household, not 1 per customer. So, normally you'd be like, oh, I'll buy one for me. I'll buy one for the missus and my son and my dog and my cat, right? It is 1 per household, okay? And if it's seen that you're trying to game the system, they'll probably cancel your second orders, okay? So limit of 1 per household. However, there's also a second listing, also at spot price, but it comes up for me. When you click on it, there's a password, okay? Now, why would there be a password? Because that's exclusive to the Silver Investor Club, okay? So if you go over to the Silver Investor Club, okay, and you join, then you'll be able to see this particular deal, okay? You'll see what the password is, etc., and then you can get a second lot for spot price as well. So basically, there's 2 opportunities to get silver for spot price, 6 ounces in total, okay? 3 on the normal way and 3 by joining my club, the Silver Investor Club, and it's currently free to join. There is a silver special every single week, and more bullion dealers will be coming on board. I'm trying to get international dealers on board as well, so my US subscribers can join and take advantage of those. And UK, send me bullion dealers from all around the world. So anyway, that's the bullion side of things. Cool. Let's go back. Let's see, do some comments, and then we'll get to Bitcoin crypto. We'll talk about that thing I was going to talk about before. Lance said, was a good show. I actually loved how Bisha isn't just a crypto bro. Yes, he loves gold and silver as well. Yes, he does. So just so you know, Bisha, yes, does love gold and silver as well. Bisha from Stormrake, the COO of Stormrake.com, has been long time friends with Sam from Liberty Bullion. So if you know Sam from Liberty Bullion, Sam started at Bullion Now. I trained him up on a bunch of stuff when he joined. As you know, I was the first employee at Bullion Now. Sam joined like a year and a half into it, something like that, or possibly longer. And then Sam started his bullion company semi-recently, and they're doing great guns at Liberty Bullion. Fantastic work over there at Liberty Bullion. And Bisha and Sam went to school together, or I think they worked together in some company, and they're still really good friends. So yeah, anyway, that's how they know each other. Knackers, yeah, your interview yesterday with Ricky and Bisha was excellent. Very polished and engaging. Good. Silver Sushi says, what's up, Joe? On my way to my next job so I can hang out for a bit. Good to see you, Silver Sushi. If you are willing to share what it is that you do for a living, tell us what you do for a living. So it sounds like you're like a contractor where you do, something for this client, something for that client. Let us know what it is. Let's see some more comments, and we'll get to Bitcoin and crypto. Good morning, Sino. Sino joined us on the private live stream on Friday morning on the Silver Investor Club, and showed us. I'm totally jealous of where he was streaming, where he was joining us from on the stream. Totally jealous. That's all I'm going to say. The recording you can find on the Silver Investor Club, but when he showed me where he was, I went, you bastard. It's like, yeah, I'm just hanging. Let's see. Hazer in the hydrogen. Hazer is a very interesting company. Yes. They create graphite while making hydrogen. That's interesting, isn't it? And their tech is all patented. Wow, you're just getting me really excited. Okay, HZR, I think it was. Never thought about investing in hydrogen. It seems so obvious now that you mention it. Nice one, Joe. No worries, man. Back to work, guys. All right, no problem. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and crypto. Again, we'll take a look how the market reacted, or that particular market reacted to the Fed rate cut. Seems like altcoins have been reacting better than Bitcoin. So let's take a look at that right now. And of course, it's brought to you by Stormrake, stormrake.com. You'll hear more about those. Is a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. Let's take a look at BTC. And I always choose the wrong one. Let's go here. I want the not the index. I want the Bitstamp price. Cool. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, 116,375 US dollars. Excuse me. What did the market do in the last few hours? Had a little bit of a rise, but not much. I mean, it hasn't gone crazy. Once again, all of this has been pretty much priced in since, Fed meeting coming up, 25 basis points, blah, blah, blah. That's how it works, okay? The market, the average discounts everything. So this bearish divergence still playing out at this stage. This is on the hour time frame, okay? Higher high, lower high on the RSI, and then that's been playing out. We actually haven't reset like we have with others on the hourly. Remember when I showed, I think it was silver or gold? I think it was silver in particular on the hourly that had already reset into extremely undervalued or oversold. Okay, so that's why I think silver probably has more of a chance of heading onwards and upwards from here. Bitcoin not there just yet. Now, once again, I spoke to Bisher from Stormrake about Bitcoin over the longer term, and I did ask him whether he still believed that $200,000 Bitcoin could come this year. He's still on track with that. He actually said in that interview, I went, what? When he said it, he believes 150,000 Bitcoin in US dollars in 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. Is that true? I mean, is that true? No one knows. Could that be true? Possibly. Do you believe that to be a possibility? Let me know in the comments right now. Let's see. Yeah, but nothing's saying yet that we're heading absolutely onwards and upwards. Okay, we've still got some bearish divergence playing out on the 4 hour as well. Volume is also heading down too, so you've got a couple of blinkers here. Okay, so on the 4 hour, and have we pivoted is the question. On the 4 hour, that looks pretty pivoty to me. A pivot is where you have a major peak. You see, that's a pivot, that's a pivot, that's a pivot, that's a pivot. That looks, pretty pivotish to me. And you can see that's a higher high. And then you also have the lower high in the relative strength index. But you can also see a lower high on the on-balance volume as well. Okay, so two things are now diverging from the price, which suggests momentum loss or some weakness. So on balance of probability, I think we see some lower prices from here for Bitcoin, at least probably down to about that 113,000 kind of area. Previous resistance now needs to become support. I don't want to see that, and that lines up perfectly. Look at that. From that high and that low, it lines up perfectly with resistance, lines up perfectly with the bottom end of the zag zone. So the expected resistance range has become expected resistance, and I'm expecting more resistance. I just want to see that. You break through there, I'll be in Bitcoin. Like I have general Bitcoin that, your dollar cost average in, but I'll take a trade on Bitcoin. Would I take a trade on Bitcoin or some of the altcoins remains to be seen. It depends which ones are relatively strong against Bitcoin itself. So I'd have to take a look. But yeah, I'd be happy to take, if I were a Bitcoin maxi, I'd be taking a trade absolutely there. I would long the SHIT out of Bitcoin on a break of that 117,500, whatever that is. Call it, if you want to call it 118,000 just for shits and giggles, call it 118,000. You break that, looking quite good. Okay, I'd have to see what the other indicators are doing. But yeah, that'll be looking quite nice. Okay, I'd be happy to do that based on some other factors. So that's Bitcoin, expecting a dip probably to watch 113, and we'll go from there. Cool, so that's general Bitcoin. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance. Now, this is interesting. This is why altcoins are having a bit of a rise. Look at the Bitcoin dominance. We found it. When did we do this? Have I not talked about this for a couple of days? Do you remember I spoke about this horizontal line? I've had this horizontal line in for ages. Right? So this is Bitcoin dominance. As this is going up, Bitcoin's the best one to be in of all of crypto land. Okay. As this is going down, it's signaling alt season, rah, rah, rah. Okay. Very clear level of support and resistance here at 57%. All right. Massive support there. Broke through it, and then look at that massive altcoin season. That was the one back in early 2021. Altcoin season, baby, right? And that lasted until it started bottoming at around about May. Okay, now Bitcoin's massively been dominating since about October of 2022, just killing altcoins in general. Yeah, some ups and downs along the way. Then you had this little move here up to that 66% mark. Now, let me just double check. Does that line up with any key Fibonacci level, just out of interest? From that high and that low? It's around about the 0.786, if I take it from this high and this low, okay. Yeah, that lines up pretty well with the top end of the zag zone. Okay, so from altcoin history high to the altcoin history low, isn't that interesting? Again, fibs work on ratios and all that kind of stuff, right? So that since they had that little bottom in there and then you found resistance at the 0.786, that's around about your 66% level. And now we are back at that. Where are we? Go to the daily. We're back at that 57% level. Okay, so just watch out for that. Okay, if that starts closing days below 57%, you could be in for a decent altcoin season. Okay, the one we're all expecting to happen is just a matter of when, I guess. But you don't go in, and this is the big lesson here, you don't go in on expectations. Okay, you go in on data. Okay, you go in on bullish changes of market structure and all that. Here is others, the altcoin market minus the top 10. This is interesting. In the last hour, the last couple of hours, yeah. Okay, so general crypto has definitely reacted much better to Bitcoin and the other in precious metals from the Fed rate cut. Okay, and I guess it looks like a promise of more rate cuts as well. So we have bounced here at the, where are we? At the 0.236. Okay, from this high and this low. It looks like, let me get rid of that for you. Okay, we are through. No, we're not through. That's from that high and that low. I'll take it from this high and this low. Was that the same one? Duh. From that high and that low. Okay, yeah, straight through the 618. So that's looking really quite nice at the moment. I might have to check out some crypto to have a look at. Let's see. There and there. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Stackers, where we take a look at bunch of different assets, precious metals. We take a look at crypto as well. We're on the crypto portion. Okay. Yeah, we're through. Well, I mean, clearly through that zag zone again from that high and that low. That's right there. Gee, at 327 billion, we've smashed through it. The RSI is starting to get a little oversold on the 1 hour. Let me check the volume. No volume. Now here is the slide. Let me have a look here. Volume. The volume isn't matching. That's one thing I'll say. I mean, I'm not saying we're not going up from here, but I'll just say the volume isn't matching it at the moment. So what you would want to preferably see is the volume preceding the price. Okay, and it doesn't work exactly like this. It doesn't mean, okay, we're just dumping from here. Okay, I am not saying that, but preferably you do want to see the volume preceding the price. So if you go there, right, where does that match up with? That matches up roughly with this level here. So what you're seeing is, okay, price, okay, the market cap made a new high, but that hasn't broken as well. So it's sort of going up on lowering volume, which isn't preferable, okay? So we just got to keep our eyes open. I mean, geez, it looks nice. Okay, it is looking nice, but the one thing we've just got to watch out for is, let's see, is that a 1, 2? Yeah, okay. So we need to watch out for, I think, potentially an excess phase move. Okay, and what I mean by that, and I'm not an expert yet on Elliott wave, but what I'm just noticing here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your excess one. And what happens, that's usually the last split of the gas tank. And then what you can tend to get is bearish divergence from the third to the fifth. So if we see a higher high in the market cap, but then an equal or a lower high on the relative strength index, that could potentially signal, okay, well, you know, people are saying, oh, Fed, here we go. And then it ticks over. So just be aware of it. Not saying it's going to happen, but just keep an eye. You just got to be careful. I think many people will be getting in here, and you can see that, well, they are, because a lot of crypto is having a bit of a pump at the moment. Let's take a look at a few of them. And this is the one I wanted to talk about. Of course, I will be talking about TOSHI. Okay. This is the first one, and there's a little bit of a lesson in here, though. Let me get rid of you. And if you have any particular crypto other than ones that I normally look at, so I probably won't look at ZBCN. I might look at XRP today, but give me some newies, okay? Anyone got some newies they want me to look at? Let's see right here. Cool. let's take a look on the daily. Yeah. Give me one moment. And I've got to set this up. That volume is looking quite nice, I've got to say. Here is TOSHI on the daily time frame priced in USD. We've got 0009. Okay, so TOSHI just absolutely ripped. And it is ripped versus other crypto. It went up roughly like 80 to 100%. Over 100%, I think it was. Now, why did it do it when everything else was just like, oh, what's going on here? Nothing. The rest of crypto was like, nothing's happening. The Fed rate cut hadn't happened, all that stuff. What happened? TOSHI got announced that it's getting listed on, and it had been listed on Upbit. Now, Upbit is one of Asia's largest, if not the largest, cryptocurrency exchange. So it's opening up TOSHI to the Asian market. Okay, and that saw a furor of absolute volume coming in. So take a look at the volume here. So this is where we were. Now, as you know, I have been out of TOSHI. Okay, and I said what I needed to see, and let me show you a few things here. Can I find them? It's going to be that one, yeah. Yeah, it was that one, and I think it was, no, it wasn't that one. I think it wasn't that one, Joe. Let's see. Yeah, it was another one somewhere. Something like that, I don't know. But we'd broken market structure, and I said I get in on data and I get out on data. So when we broke here on the daily time frame, I said I'm out. I'm out because it's looking like a bearish change of market structure. You had higher highs, higher lows on the daily, higher high, higher low, lower high, lower low. I got out around about here because that's a bearish change of market structure. I don't hold something hoping that crypto is going to go crazy. I don't hold something hoping. I don't go on hope. Okay, I'll go on data. So I got out and then saying, here's what I need to see in order for me to get back in again to say, okay, bullish change of market structure. I said I needed to see it get and hold above this level, right? Not that one. Not that one either, Joe. That one right there. I need to see it get and hold above bare minimum this sort of point 00065. I'll get rid of the triple zeros. 65 to 62. 62 to 65. I said need to see it break above and hold above. Then what did we do? We had this little splurt right here. And I was wondering what was going on there. Now that's interesting. Now when I think back to it, do you know why that had, well, other things had a bit of a rise. That was probably, now that I think about it, that was probably the insiders going, oh, we're getting listed on Upbit, are we? And this was just a few days ago. That pretty much tells me, okay, the insiders knew and they bought up, okay? And up to about 7. Okay, then we had to move back down below that support. So this was a non-sustained move. Okay, so I said, okay, great to see it breaking above there, but we're back in this area. And we're in a very key area with multiple trend lines. We're bouncing off this downtrend line right here. We're bouncing off this uptrend line right here. And I said, well, when we get back up through here, I will very likely get back into TOSHI. Now, what happened yesterday? I went to my kids' concert. Damn kids. I went to my kids' end of year-ish kind of concert. And in that time, because I wasn't watching the markets, in that time, it got listed on Upbit. So it's rocketed through. And great to see. So I haven't taken a position. Now, am I kicking myself? No, because there's plenty of more fish in the sea. I love TOSHI. It's the meme coin of base chain, and I'm hoping to get back in. That'd be great, but I follow data. So now I think on balance of probability, what you're seeing today is general altcoins tend to be going up, but TOSHI's lagging behind now because it had its massive it had a massive news event, a black swan event, something we couldn't absolutely see coming. A lot of people say, oh, it'll eventually get listed, on major Asian exchange. It'll get listed on Binance one day. That's all speculation, okay? I don't buy on speculation. So let's see what happens, okay? I am looking at, with TOSHI, I think I've had it from this low and this high. Yeah, we found exact resistance at, where are we? Why have I got that drawn in? I don't know why that's... What is that? Is that a... Oh, okay, that's previous Fibonacci level. Let me get rid of you. Why are you in there? Go away. Yeah. So from this low and this high, we're currently in the resistance zone. And yeah, I'm expecting probably some lower prices coming, I think. And I will look at potentially getting more if we head down to around about that 0.75 level. Not getting more, but getting back in. Have I picked that right from the 4 hour? Yeah, that's right, from that low and that high. Let me check. Yep, fib levels good, and in this general area here, yeah, it's at 7.5. So we've bounced off so far the 0.382. That's good. I'm expecting us probably to go into this zag zone, and I might start nibbling around about your 8.2. But if we get down to 7.5 and if we bounce off there, and I'll go into the smaller time frames and see if we're getting a bullish change of market structure on a smaller time frame, then I might start nibbling because, again, general altcoins weren't going up. This was a, people were buying the news. You don't buy the news, okay? And I'm expecting lower. And if I get an entry, fantastic, I get an entry. And if I don't, fine, shall move on to something else. But I'll be very happy for the TOSHI fam because what an absolutely awesome community they are. They are rah, rah, rah. Now, did I have losers who came on and went, ha, 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 you sold at the wrong time, blah, blah, blah? Yes, of course. But they're losers who don't understand that I get in and get out on data and you don't know what's going to happen. No one could have predicted except the insiders the upbit listing, and that's what that was there, I think. Anyway, that is TOSHI. Happy to get back in on data. Maybe if it starts creeping back above, I would say, let's call it, yeah, maybe back above there at 9.8, maybe at the 001 area. I'll think about it, but not at this stage, people. I do not buy the news. Cool, great news, but I don't buy it. That is TOSHI. Let's go back to see if I have any particular chart requests. Any chart requests, people? Trading higher after 25. Now, Daniel from Stormrake, thank you for joining us again. Dan, trading higher after the quarter cut in the USD today, but that was, there you go, that was largely priced in, yes. Bitcoin is range bound between 114 and 118, which are both significant liquidation levels. Yes, that's what Bisha said yesterday. If I go back to the Bitcoin price, let me show you. BTC, Bitstamp. Yeah, between about, there was 118 and 113. Now, isn't that interesting? Let me go back. He said, I'll find that comment again. Bitcoin still range bound between 114 and 118, which are both significant liquidation levels. So between 114 and 118, both liquidation levels. Where's 114? Oh, around about here, the bottom end of the zag zone. Okay, from that high and that low. Where's 118? At around about the top end of the zag zone. Isn't that interesting? Right, so major liquidation levels. Okay, this is people who were going long after the break of market structure. So what we mean by liquidation levels is people, traders using leverage, or traders buying spot, but they have stop losses, because all good traders and all good investors, you should have stop losses in place, because you don't know where the world is going, okay? So if you start losing on your trade, you will put a stop loss, and then when it gets triggered, it sells it and you make a tiny little loss. But being a good trader or being a good investor is all about losing small and winning big. So that's the smart move. So what people would have done here is, I've got all that drawn in, but on this break here, so that right there, resistance, on that break right there is where a lot of traders with leverage or spot have gone long. And they were right to go long because it's a break of market structure. But what they're doing then is they may have tight stop losses, and the more leverage you're using, the tighter the stop loss needs to be. Because if even it goes down by 1%, 2%, that can wipe you out if you're leveraged 50 times, 100 times, or even more, which you shouldn't do. But that's why you've got a lot of liquidations around about, that 113, 114 kind of level. And similarly, you had people, so back up around here, So back here at about that 117, 118 kind of level there, that's when shorters went short. Okay, and they've gone, Bitcoin's heading down. I'm going to short the crap out of this thing. And they've got their stop loss at around about that 117, 118 level. So they're betting that the market was going to go down. Now, so far, they've been riding it. Now, smart people would have taken some profits all the way down here, but you're still going to have people who are still have their short position still opened at this stage because they're thinking, oh, I didn't take profits here, but oh, it looks like, oh, we're not, maybe we'll do something like this and I'll take my profits the second time. And so what crypto loves to do is to grab everyone's stop losses. Now, their stop losses, if you get in here, your stop loss is going to be around about here, which is around about 118,000. So liquidations here, liquidations here. So we're in that very tight range. So we need to flush out either way, and you might flush out both ways. So what could happen with Bitcoin, for example, is you could have a move up to 118, which flushes people out, and then you have the move down here to under sort of 114, and that flushes them out, and then it does that. So watch out for that. That's actually probably the most likely play, because you have to think, how do they want to flush out the weak hands or flush out the stop losses? The casino wants to win every single time. So the most likely move, yes, is actually a move up there, liquidate, move down there, liquidate, get everyone on the wrong side of the market, and then do something like that. That's actually probably the most likely. That is that. Any particular, let me go back here. Any particular things? Let's see. GMS. Let's see. Comments, etc. Gerald, OVPP is the energy project to watch. What's OVPP? Give me one sec. Are you with OVPP? Yeah, you know me. Oh, okay. So OpenVPP. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that could be a crypto to watch. Okay, I'm going to show this one. So Gerald Draper is our crypto lover here. I mean, I love crypto as well. I will be back in a big way when it presents itself to be with the data. But Gerald's your rah, buy and hold, all that kind of stuff. I mean, he takes profits along the way. But Gerald, you're definitely the biggest crypto champion on here, and it's great to see. You think OVPP is the energy project to watch? Is it? I mean, I can see it's a crypto, but is it? What else is it? Let me go here. Perpetual. No, it's just a crypto. Okay, let me go to the chart, and we'll go here. I've got to get rid of you. We'll just do that. Okay, OVPP. Let's take a look. Cool. This is OVPP, OpenVPP. Never heard of it. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it does. He said it's the energy project. Okay. It's OpenVPP. All right. Let me go to Grok. New query. What is OVPP, OpenVPP crypto? Let's have a quick look-see, shall we? Searching. OVP, also known as OpenVPP, is the native cryptocurrency. Oh, okay. So it's of a protocol, OpenVPP protocol, a blockchain-based platform designed to provide decentralized financial infrastructure. Interesting. For the global electric utility sector. Okay. It has a payments engine, integrates wrapped dollar peg stablecoins into energy-aware smart contracts, allowing a single contract. Oh, wow. Allowing a single token to represent units of dollars, kilowatt hours, or avoided CO2 emissions. Interesting. Okay. Broader goals. OpenVPP aims to serve as a foundational protocol for energy markets. That's so interesting. So it's basically tokenizing the energy market. Cool. Everything's probably going to get tokenized at one point, at some point. So interesting. Okay. So it's tokenizing the energy market. That's all you really need to know. Okay, here's OpenVPP. Geez, it's done well over the last, well, this is kind of like your first movement. So we opened, okay, start of the month, brand new crypto. Okay, brand new crypto on the weekly. Okay, so this is the third week of it existing on MEX. I should say this is the third week it exists on MEXC. So if I go Dex Screener, let's just check. I haven't opened Dex Screener in ages. Jeez. Oh yeah, look at that TOSHI move. Let's see. OVPP. Sure. Okay. What's that? 92 market cap, liquidity. So that's the one. How long has it existed since? Let's take a look. Auto. Ooh, geez. Can you give me a... What the blazes? Oh, okay. What's going on here? OVPP, media. Okay, that's not a chart that I can even look at. That's not helpful at all whatsoever. So here's the OVPP on the hourly time frame. You can see that there's bearish divergence playing out, and you can see there's been a massive drop off in volume. Okay, so pretty much works like every other damn market. Okay, there's the initial coin offering launch. Okay, this is at least on MEXC. You have that rise, so the volume is rising with it. Volume rise, volume rise, volume rise. Fantastic, good to see. So the volume is confirming the moves. Fantastic. Then you have a bit of a dip, and then the volume dips with it. So that's in convergence. However, price makes a higher high. The volume does not follow it. It actually makes a lower high technically. Cool. So that's the momentum loss. Okay. And what goes up must come down. So that this is par for course, right? And then you've then seen a big sell-off here. And the volume confirmed it. And the RSI confirmed it. You've gone into extremely undervalued or extremely oversold on the relative strength index volume. Okay. Let's see. It's recovered quite nicely. So now if I go, I'm going to take it from this high and this low. Why not? Everyone keep an eye on it. Why not? I'll probably put this on my watch list. Between this high and this low, the zag zone is sitting right there. And we made a play for it, but it failed so far. So we're still in that zone. It needs to clear and hold above there. All right, so clear and hold 20 cents. Excuse me. Clear and hold 20 cents, and then I'll be looking at it. Okay. Yeah, and I'd say a really good kicker would be clearing and holding that 24 cents. As you can see, that's previous resistance as well. Isn't that interesting how good old fib works? In hindsight, look at that. From that high and that low, the 0.786 sits bang on right there, okay, at 24 cents. So actually, yes, that's probably more the kicker for me. That's a good sign. Breaking and holding 20 cents, really good sign. And I'd say go time for potential, further all-time highs is that 24 cent mark. So watch out for that. OVPP. Yeah, thanks, man. OVPP. Tokenizing the energy market. That's going on my watch list. I appreciate that, Gerald. Thanks, dude. You're always full of great things to watch for crypto. Much appreciated. Not final comments, but we'll go through them. Let's see. Oh, did that just happen? We'll get back to more crypto. Hang on. Interesting. Jimmy Kimmel. All right, we're in general comment land now. So we've done crypto. I might go back to crypto if there's any chart requests, but we're at the 1 hour mark and we kind of stick to around about 1 hour. We might be finalizing on this. Interesting, Jimmy Kimmel has been pulled from the ABC for his Charlie Kirk comments. As you know, I did a live stream dedicated purely to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Sons of bitches. Let's see. Let me have a quick look here. Let's see. I'm going to go Jimmy Kimmel. I'm going to share the screen now, actually, so you can see that too. Let's share the screen. Jimmy Kimmel. It suspends. Okay. Oh, indefinitely. ABC suspends Jimmy Kimmel's show over false... Yeah, exactly. Over false MAGA link to Kirk assassination. ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live indefinitely after host Jimmy Kimmel claimed on air that the assassin of Charlie Kirk was affiliated with the MAGA movement, contradicting authorities' reports that the suspect held progressive views, including that kind of activism and opposition to Make America Great Again. Wow. Now that is saying something interesting. This is the most. Chris Hayes says this is the most straightforward attack on free speech from state actors. Okay. Let's see. Breaking evidence between later recent rights of Charlie. Wow. Oh, cancel culture in full effect on the right. Well, there you go. Disney Plus definitely made some comments about Charlie Kirk. Oh, everyone's like, I stand with Jimmy Kimmel. Well, there you go. That's interesting. How do I feel about that? I am going to go on the... How do I initially feel about it? I actually don't like that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Kimmel. Let me just think. Let me run that past my filter right now. The initial thing is sucked into Jimmy Kimmel because, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. But that's exactly what a lot of people were saying about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It was speech. It wasn't, okay, look, it wasn't, what it wasn't, was it hate speech? Not necessarily. It's not hate speech as such. It's an opinion, which was most people would believed to be wrong, but it certainly wasn't incitement to violence. Okay, and it wasn't direct incitement to violence. So I'm against that. Okay, I'm against. So in one hand, I go, sucked in Jimmy Kimmel, but I'm actually against it. That was wrong. So I think he should be reinstated. And this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand that the conservatives and the right, we have general moral standards. Now, there are going to be some people on the right who are going, Jimmy Kimmel's out. I think if they step back and take a little think about it, they go, actually, it wasn't incitement to violence. It's free speech. And that's allowed in the US Constitution, not here in Australia, but that's allowed in the US Constitution. And I'm a proponent of free speech. You should be able to say whatever you want, so long as it is not a direct incitement to violence. Okay? And however, if from a corporate side of things, corporate entities can do what they want. If they feel that is some kind of defamation, then that's their business. So on one hand, I'm like, all right, screw you, Jimmy Kimmel. You've been an arsehole for a while. I'm okay with him being ousted. Fine by me. It's kind of like, But from a moral perspective, he shouldn't have, because he didn't do anything immoral. Okay, so it's not hate speech. Free speech should be protected. If the corporate people go, whoa, man, you can't say shit like that because we could get sued, then I understand the reason why he has been. That's interesting. Wow. So interesting. Let's go back. Anything else to talk about? Okay, do the USAR chart. Would be interesting to see yours versus mine. Okay. USAR. We'll go back to there. Okay. That's really interesting with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. Let's take a look at USAR. You did put me you did put me onto USAR, and I didn't look at it properly. So let me look at it properly. All right. Cool. Here is USAR, US Rare Earth Incorporated. It's pretty choppy for you there, Lance. I'm going to take it from this high and this low to see if there's any confluence of stuff. Okay. Well, you're through the zag zone from this high and this low. I'm using the logarithmic. Is it the logarithmic chart? Yes, it is. There's no dividends, so I don't need to adjust for those. You definitely look at the clear. That's back in March. So you're in that very clear uptrend, okay? You're getting close there. Getting a little close. Yeah, I'll call it there. Yeah, we'll halve it. We'll halve the div. Halve the div. You don't really, trend lines are good. They're helpful, but they are very subjective, whereas simple lines of support and resistance zones, or simple zones of support and resistance, are much more reliable. Okay, so you can pretty much see here, see that right there. That's been broken through. So that's good. So you're through major resistance, okay? And you spent a lot more time down in below this zone than above this zone. So you're kind of actually getting into the outlying territory here for USA Rare Earth. Is it a... Looks like it's a stock. It's not an index. It's not an index. So USAR is a domestic supplier of rare earth magnets and heavy rare earth elements. It is developing a vertically integrated domestic supply chain for rare earth element magnet production with a facility in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and mining rights to the Round Top heavy rare earth and critical minerals deposit in West Texas. The company was formed in 2019. So it's not actually a... Was this the right one you were telling me? USAR? It was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so looking good. So you're over that support. Jeez, that's looking nice. That's definitely one I'm watching, and I might be really tempted here, actually. I would say right now, if it breaks above, I'll take a look at the indicators as well. I'm also going to take a quick look at the general market because the general Australian stock market is just open. I want to see where I'm at. Yeah, if you break above right here, that would be a continuation of the bullish change of market structure on the 1 hour time frame. So we did it recently. Oh, and actually that would be a non-failure swing, if you can see that as well. So this is really good. Thanks for this, Lance. What you've got here is you've been in an accumulation zone right under resistance. Okay. Accumulating under major resistance, tick. Breakthrough resistance, tick. Breakthrough by doing a non-failure swing, tick. Ooh. Tick, tick. You're building this case for me, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, through resistance, tick. Non-failure swing. Yeah, accumulation below resistance or just below. That's pretty good. Maintaining that uptrend. 4 ticks. Jeez. And non-failure swing. What's a non-failure swing? Well, this is where you're making successive, just kind of like equal highs, equal lows, just faffing around. And then instead of doing the following, if you do that, then if you mean that, and that's bullish. But what you've done is the higher low first. Then you've made there, and now you're breaking out of here. So if you break out of $15.90, that's a non-failure swing break as well. So that's looking quite nice. Yeah, I would be willing personally. I'd have to check out you got a lot of good ticks there. Let's see. From this high and this low. Okay, look, the last major tick that would really seal the deal for me would be breaking and holding $17. Okay, breaking and holding $17. Okay, from this high and this low, it's the zag zone. So that would be really good too. But geez, it's looking nice. I'm almost tempted to take it. I'm almost tempted to take that. I would actually go so far as I personally am not going to wait for the $17 area. I'm probably going to wait for that break of that, whatever that was I said, right there of $15.90. Gee, could I even take it now? Because you've had, I just want to wait for that non-failure swing thing, and then I've got to see check your indicators, Joe, what else is going on. The volume is looking really good. That's on the 1 hour. The RSI is ticking up. The volume is almost confirming it. It's nearly broken out. That's looking pretty good on the daily time frame. Yeah, RSI ticking up. Volume is moving with it, and it's moving in pretty much lockstep. Okay, so it's not going up on lowering volume. Nice. Weekly? Weekly's just looking quite nice too. I tell you what would be a huge kicker if you see the following, where you have, if that breaks on the weekly and that hasn't broken yet, that's probably a really good indicator that the volume is preceding the price, and you'll probably get, a move up here. That's actually looking quite good. I'm personally very tempted to take a position really soon, and I'll put an alert on it, and I'll put it at $15.90. If it breaks through there, I might take a position. Unfortunately, I wish I could have taken a position there, because then I would have taken it there on the break, and then put a little stop loss there. So that's where you put your stop loss, because it's breaking back down through major support and through there. Then yeah, okay, yeah, looking good, man. USAR, I appreciate that. I'm going to quickly check the market. Let me just quickly check a couple of things. Give me one moment. You can't see what I'm about to do, but I'm about to check the market because it's been open for 42 minutes. Where are we sitting? Oh yeah, some of my stuff's actually down. Let me have a look. What have my things done? Oh, yes, I've had a nice move in that. Glad I took that. That's good. That's good. Uranium. Okay, so Sun Silver is down a bit. That's not great on my 1 hour. I really didn't want to see that. Unico is also still heading down. So the silver, my silver plays are a little bit down. Okay, but they've been pretty overheated recently. South 32, down a bit. Zimplats, I'm going to have to possibly get stopped out on that one. Okay, that is what it is. Chalice is down. The things that are currently up, I got into something yesterday called Pursuit Minerals. Let me quickly show you that. That's actually the one that's doing quite nicely. I'm glad I got into that. Let me show you. Gold. I'm going to show you quickly one it's up 10% for the day. It's called PUR, Pursuit Minerals. And then I got to get out of here. Okay. So I took this yesterday as a cheeky little play, and this is it right here. Now, this was actually based on watching David Bird, aka ASX Trader, do his weekly, or he does it twice weekly, a bi-weekly market scan. And this, in particular, what he's trying to build is a small cap ETF, meaning your own ETF. You can't buy you can buy a small cap ETF, but he's creating his own. He went through a list of small caps and went, oh, this one looks good from a technical perspective, and PUR happened to be one of them. I cheated a little bit. I did front run it a little bit. I was wanting to see this be broken at around about 8.9 cents. I did take it a little bit earlier on a break on a smaller time frame. So I took a little risk, but I didn't put too much in, and I had my stop loss down here at 64, I think it was. It has played out. Don't do what I did. You should have probably waited. But my average is around about 84, 85 or 83, I think. And now we've just pumped about 10% for the day. So we're now breaking market structure on the 4-hour time frame. We've also broken into bullish market structure on the daily time frame. This is a very micro cap stock, okay? So just be aware. If you put even like a few $1,000 into it, it's probably going to push the price up. Okay, it potentially may have bottomed here, don't know. But yeah, so that's looking all right. Not bad. So that's PUR. Now, what is it? Just so you know, it is a mineral exploration and project development company. It focuses on advancing vanadium vanadium projects in world-class mining jurisdictions of Finland and Sweden. Okay, I'm going to play it and see what happens from this high and this low. We're now coming up to the zag zone, so I've just got to manage it until around about that 10-cent mark, and I would suggest if you can get through that 10-cent mark, let me get rid of you. If you can get through that 10-cent mark right there, again, this high and this low, get through there, hold that, then you'll be looking good for a player up to this downtrend line. Then you got to watch the downtrend line, but that could be a doubling from here. Okay, so when we get to around about there, I'll see what the indicators are doing. Are we looking quite overbought, etc.? And then that might be just a little trading play for me. So I could get up over 100% on that move. That would be nice. So yeah, watch out for about that 20-cent move, and then watch out for something like that. And then if you do that, then you're looking really good for a possible major bottom. So something like that, higher high or equal high right there, higher low, and then that golden. But I'm going to hold it for now until it says otherwise. I'm going to hold it until my stop loss at around about that 6-cent kind of mark. Cool. You do you. That's PUR. Now I'm going to get out of here because we're going way too long. Comments. Sino says, Jimmy just got a taste of the cancel culture the left employed as a weapon. Yes. Turned around to bite them in the ass. That's the thing, though. We're going, ha, you got cancelled, except the left was going, ha, your dude died. Little bit of a moral difference there, don't you think? Don't you think? What he said wasn't great. I'll have to check out what he said. In fact, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do it now. Let's see what he said. I want to find out what he said. Let's go to my screen. System audio on. Let's see what he said. Do you want to find out? What did he say? Let's find out what he said. I'll stop talking so you can hear this. Ready?
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level...
Oh, okay. We're not going to see what he said because that's the different one. So what did he actually say? Come on, what did he actually say? Is that the one? This is cancelled. This has been confirmed.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. Okay. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
Oh, okay. So that was not based on actually... What did he actually say? Anyway, can't find it. I'll find it properly. Yeah, anyway, that's it. Yeah, I got to get out of here, peeps. I feel it's spreading false narrative. Yeah, misspoke. Sorry, this is a stock. Yeah, cool. This is cool. All right, yeah. All right. No double bottoms today, Jason, and that's where we're going to leave it off right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. We talk about stacking skills, stacking silver, stacking satoshis, stacking lots of different things. People, hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family, and let's dance it out as we do with our tasty beverages. Have you got yours? I've got mine. Let's slurp them synchronously together. You will get more content from me tomorrow, maybe over the weekend. Let's see what happens with crypto prices, etc. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn that down because it was a bit too loud last time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stack. It's podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
synchronize.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now we're on the move.
Thanks for watching. Love your work. Stay safe. Stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking, man. I'll see you next time. Bye.